Happy New Year! But yes, hello, welcome in, my beautiful peasants. I'm just so excited. It's a whole another new year of the tavern. Pretty awesome. I have Reaper's character up right now, Naira, because I was not going to stream today. I had zero plans of streaming today. Zero at all. And I go in Discord, I'm in bed. I know it's like 10 a.m., but still I'm in bed, I'm looking. And I just see Reaper's like, stream? I'm like, yeah, I'll do a stream. Y'all can thank Reaper for this. I was not going to stream today. For no real reason, I don't know. But hello to Reaper, Sean's, Max, Corey, Foxy, oh my lord, I see the Mel, and Aloha, hello. Yeah, I went by quick. Last year was crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I don't have a plan for today's stream. I'm not picking a Tavern Chronicles thing. I'm just kind of like here to hang out and chat with y'all. Obviously, I imagine we'll do some art, but I have no plan right now. I wanted to show you, of course, Reaper's character felt fitting. And then this is Foxy's horrible thing that I'm working on right now. I'm really proud of that head. I sculpted it myself, as opposed to I don't know what, but I feel the need to say that because I'm really proud of it. So I'm really trying to go for more like H.R. Geiger textures, like that like biomech kind of like stripey, ribby grossness. Anyway, like repetitive organic forms. So yeah, that's why I have the interpolate button docked down here. You can't see it, but it's there. But yeah, hello. And Matt's here. Hello, happy New Year. Yeah, just a cozy stream. I like it a lot. Yeah, I've got my giant sweater thing on. When I'm not on stream, I exclusively work like this all of the time. I do not preserve any body heat, so yeah. Did you guys know that you don't lose more heat from your head? It's just proportional to surface area. I learned that recently, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it's true. Yeah. I'm glad you guys are all doing good. Look at all the peasants come together on the new year. Damn, this is a good way to spend the day. Oh, I 3D printed the ethereal alicorn like normal size, like this. And then also like big because I am resident horse girl. But I am so fucking proud of this thing. Oh my god, I'm so proud of this thing. It's so gorgeous. Gorgeous. We're gonna start doing like 3D print collector crate boxes for 25 bucks. Unfortunately, we can't do this resin because it is really brittle, but isn't it pretty? Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. I guess if you wanted this color, I'd be like, cool, you can get one singular print and it will probably still break. But anyway, I want to show that to you guys because I made that. Ah, so cool. Yeah. Boop. Yeah. Horse girl, doing horse girl shit. Yeah, dude, Foxy, I read your request too. So I read it like 5 times because I just didn't understand. I'm like, it's a millipede with a dwarf head, but a beardless dwarf, which is sacrilege. And I'm like, no, it works. I understand. I'm starting to get it. Is this something that you made up or your DM, or is this from Lord of the Rings, or what is this? I mean, it kind of reminds me of from Avatar: Last Airbender, except of a dwarf head. It's the face mask, dude. Yeah. Hi, Empress. Holy horror. Yeah, sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good to see all y'all. It really is. Also, in somewhat exciting news, I've brought this up a million times and it still hasn't happened. You guys know I don't do anything fast. But in news, Ricky and I dug out the capture card today, or we're going to look for it, which is how you stream video games and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna stream the Nintendo, guys. But no, seriously, I don't know, I've just been like playing games and I'm like, it would be fun to stream that too every now and then. I know Justling will lose his mind. He wants me to stream Peak so bad. I'm really bad at games. I'm really good at like strategy games and stuff, but like anything that requires like a reaction time, I don't know, guys. I just like, I'm not great. So I unfortunately deprived you guys from Ricky playing Stardew Valley for the first time ever. I don't think our marriage could handle streaming that though. He was driving me crazy. This man was playing Stardew Valley like he's never picked up a controller in his goddamn life. And he's asking, so eventually he realized he was like annoying me to death. But like that's fun. That's why that's part of our relationship. And at one point he just starts asking me like nonstop questions. And I didn't realize he's just messing with me. One of my favorite stupid fucking questions he asked me was, So I'm gonna upgrade my watering can. Does it need to be full of water? And I like lost it. I was just like, anyway, I honestly think that would have made us famous. I swear. Ricky is so naturally funny, and I am so naturally, you know, cranky. So it was a good time. Yeah. I fear that Mia will throw me off a mountain and peak. Yeah, I am not a great team player. That would be fun. Yeah. 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 But we are going to start doing game streams every now and then. If I end up doing it all the time and become like a real gamer, maybe I'll make a channel for it. As of now, I'm just going to like muddy up my main channel with it. But anyway, yeah. All right, Foxy said, Mia, it's a thing I made up for a Lord of the Rings game. Yeah, I felt like it would fit in that world. Yeah, very cool. I terrorized my players with this monster for 3 weeks, and they ran away from it instead of fighting it. But you know what it's time for. It's time to bring it back. Oh my gosh. Foxy, you're too good at creating monsters. Your players won't even play the game. Very good. Good job. Good job. Yeah, maybe we'll work on this today. I don't know. But it'd be a good time. I don't have any like super grand plans for New Year's. There are 2 things that I'm doing that are new. The first one is I have a journal I'm starting called... Where's the first page? Why is it so hard to flip a page? It's called For the Love of Art. And all I'm doing is every single time I work on a model, I put like the title of it here, and I put some bullet points of what I'm really excited about, what makes that model special to me. Because I have made hundreds of models, guys. I mean, I'm getting close to 1,300. And at some point, it's not that it blurs together, it's that you become like a little content factory. You're like, more models, more money, whatever. And it's a really gross feeling, and I didn't realize how much I was doing that because like the engineering part of me thinks it's fun to like optimize and work faster, but eventually I was like, this sucks. I'm starting to see models as like an obstacle to like getting my work done and making money, but that's what I like to do. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So yeah, I just started making a couple notes of what I'm really excited about, like for this one, the centipede or millipede. H.R. Geiger influence, broken teeth. I think it'd be cool if it had a little bit of war damage on or battle damage. So like that's why this is broken. I'm gonna have a few of the arms torn off. And then this awesome S silhouette. And like it's so funny that like just by giving my brain something to chew on of like what about the art I'm excited about, yeah, I like totally fixed it. So it wasn't a huge problem because I actually like the sculpting process a lot, but it's still like a really bullshit thought to have. So anything you can do to prevent the content factory mindset, I encourage you to do so, which again is weird when it is your job, but it's still important. So, yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely. That's true. Empress said, Mia, to be fair, Mia, you did start designing more as you continue to do requests on stream. That's true. That's true. Thank you guys. I knew you'd like that. Also, in small life update, that's not going to necessarily change anything major, just a very sweet sentiment. My neighbors came over on Christmas morning, which is very sweet, and I was like, hey, it was just Ricky and I. So we had a Christmas without family for the first time ever, which I know sounds really sad, but it was kind of awesome. I love my family, like not in like a they're super annoying, I love them. No, like they're just seriously super cool. They're just the best. That's it, period. But yeah, we just didn't travel anywhere this year. It was the first time. 29 years old, no children, never gonna have children, so just me and my husband, and I'm like, we'll see what this is like, and it was great. And it was cool having the neighbors come over first night. Anyway, they come over, they give us some presents, coffee, very sweet. We're like, we got you nothing. I didn't know you were gonna be here, and they didn't care. And they asked to come inside, and you know, we're all hanging around in the living room, and they're like, well, we know you want to stay part of the neighborhood, and the house I'm in now, I don't own. I live with a military couple who has been deployed for like 8 months, so it is just Ricky and I, but it's still not our house. Anyway, and they were like, hey, I know you want to stay here, country neighborhood. And they have 6 acres, and they offered to sell us 2 acres to like build a house and like live there. 2 acres is not what we're wanting. We want like all the land, all the stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like it is about community and stuff, and like that is important. And they offered us a really good price. So it was very, very sweet. And apparently they, before offering us, you know, if they, to buy the land, they went to our other neighbor, because that's who they bought the land off of. It's just kind of this thing. And they're like, would you be okay with that? Even though the original neighbors have no ownership of that land anymore. And yeah, they were like, of course, we want them to stay. So it feels good that we're not just like those fucking Californians. Like, we're in, guys. It's really happening. But yeah, it was really, really, really sweet. Yeah. And no, I didn't cry. Yeah. Yes, and then Sean's like, Mia, show my request. Absolutely. Dude, it came out so nice. And I knew it would, but like, look at this. Ugh. I do so much more work like changing up the proportions and treating the model like one piece at the end than I used to, and it really has started to pay off. Really starting to pump up those textures and stuff. I really wanted to have the tail show on this side as well, like what you had in your drawing, but you know, translating to 3D is a little different, and the tail would have been outrageously long if I did that, so I didn't end up doing that. But I did kind of keep everything else the same. I always tell you guys I don't copy art, I don't copy requests or references. It's just a request, it's not a commission. And then like I get regular peasants like Sean's buying a priority ticket, and I'm like, of course I'm gonna like do my best. So yeah, I wanted to do what I could to spoil you all a little. Yeah, dirt at a good price. I know, in this day and age, it was very, very sweet. So the land that they purchased like 5 years ago has like doubled in value, like actually doubled in value. And they offered it to us at the price that they got it for, which is crazy. So they are objectively would be selling it at a loss because inflation and stuff, and the value has gone up. And they're still like, we don't want to make $1 off of you. We just want you to stay around. These are the people whose chicken coop blew away in like 90 mile per hour wind. Only one of their chickens died, so that's good. But it was sad. We like woke up and I was like, where is our chicken coop? Oh, there it is. It wasn't usually there. So yeah. Outrageously long is great though. I considered it, but I was like, this looks really good and balanced still. Yeah. Reefers, Southern peeps tend to have a sense for community. I'm glad you found yours. Yeah, me too. It is very, very special. 90-degree wind. Shut up. I mean, that's my California showing, where I'm like, I'm used to saying 90-degree weather because it's 90 degrees in California all of the time. Or at least in the valley where I grew up. Yeah. Yeah. Very good stuff. Here we go. Emperor says, actually, Mia, how do you differentiate doing requests versus commissions for those that's wanting to skip dealing with the back and forth? Yeah, so commissions, I charge way more, like just flat off. I charge so much more. And then I tell them they get 3 revisions, and I give them an example of what the revisions look like. For example, if you ask for a unicorn, alicorn, pretty thing, and I give you this, and you go, well, can you just make it rearing like a different pose? That's fucking crazy. That requires resculpting the entire thing. And I understand, like, people don't know. So I'm being sassy, but like, I'm not actually. Remove all the rudeness. That was rude. People don't know how much work it is, right? So that's why I give them examples. Changing the pose is a lot of work. No. But if you're like, oh, can you make the hair a little bit longer? Or can you change like the angle of the wings? Or can you add a backpack? Whatever. Changing the entire weapon's actually, that's a bad example. But I give them some examples of moderate, like small revisions that are allowed and giant revisions that are not allowed. Which is fine because I give them a little form of like, what's the race, gender, and when I say race, just to be really clear, this is fantasies. I'm talking like whether it's an orc or not, just to be clear. Height, what kind of armor, their weapons. I asked a bunch of questions, and the pose, so there's no surprises. they get 3 revisions. And after that, I'm like, it's money, and that tends to stop people. And honestly, when I was doing commissions full time, I rarely had people even ask for 1 revision. Rarely, ever. So, yeah. And then for requests, you don't get none. No revisions. You describe what you want to the best of your ability, and if you don't give me information, I do my own thing. Period. And you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. And no one ever does. God, why am I so spicy today? It's like just being happy and coming across like a jerk, or just like the same thing. Okay. Anyway, and first, I'm glad you're asking questions. Hello said, don't worry, Mia. The peasants are scheming to steal the chicken coop to use it as hostage for negotiations. Well, out here, chickens aren't necessarily kind of a dime a dozen, so not the best hostage. Reaper, yeah, when I was doing art commissions, I was always like, no pose revisions once I'm in the inking stage. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sean says, Mia still absolutely killed it on this one, though. I'm really glad you think so, because it's always tricky when it's like your character, you know? And dragons are hard. You were like, I want a pretty dragon. I'm like, okay. Okay. That's not easy. It's super not easy. A lot of this was tricky, but it's so worked out. It's so worked out. I just think gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And I was able to get the little mustache. Corey says, Mia, your edgelord is showing. I came for a nice New Year stream. I'm doing my best. New Year stream, and we have Corey. What a treat. Yeah, it worked out really well. I agree. I can't wait to see this printed and painted. Me too. We'll need to, again, there's a lot of small details on this one, and the little flowers when printed 28mm scale are gonna look more like little nubs, but I'm gonna make sure that they're pronounced enough where if you like dab a little bit of pink on them and a little bit of wash, you'll still get that really gorgeous effect. Maybe you want to paint them white and do a pink wash on them to get that cherry blossom color. I don't know. You get options. I will do my best in painting. Those horns are gonna be a little fragile, just be careful. When in doubt, you can just glue it back on, but ideally nothing broken. Corey said, well, I thought I'd show up. I've been meaning to, but haven't made it. Don't you worry. This year, I'm pretty much planning on 2 streams a week, minimum. So that's my commitment, is 2 streams a week. So if it's Thursday and I haven't streamed yet, you guys can complain. Be like, well, you have to stream today and tomorrow then. Max says, I'm gonna hop out for a bit because I'm not hungover, or I'm hungover as anything, but I may return later. Have fun, y'all. Sleep good, hydrate. I had exactly zero alcohol yesterday, surprising nobody. Yeah, when I was getting a bunch of work done at the dentist, they gave like the sedation or the shots or whatever, which is fine, though it does still hurt after 2 days, but anyway. And he came back like 2 minutes later, he's like, starting to feel something? And I'm like, I'm holding up. And he's like, are you kidding? I'm like, no. He mentioned he's like, sedation like works really well on you, doesn't it? And I'm just like, yeah, I can't drink either. Sounds good, Sean's. Ooh, and gonna glue additional flowers and lace. That's gonna be fantastic. I like it, I like it. All right, we've just been chatting this whole time, which is fun. Do we want to like do something? I think I would like to do something. Sean's character here is not post-processed for 3D printing, but I don't know if I want to do that on stream because I don't want to miss any details. I really want to make sure that like these flowers are like gonna fall off or whatever. I also had dental work. 3 more teeth gone. Oh no, extractions. I had 6 fillings. I had 6 cavities, which is just bullshit. Y'all, I take such good care of my teeth. You do not understand. You do not understand. Everyone's like, oh, you floss twice a day. And I'm like, I floss after every meal. And my gums are in super good health. They just suck. I didn't have braces. So nice and pretty and straight, naturally. but they're just made of paper, so whatever. All right. Yeah, doors open is over. Next. Yeah, I agree. Next. All right, let's work on the millipede. Here, let me give you guys an option. Peasant pick. What to sculpt? Work on the I can't spell millipede, don't comment on it. Work on the millipede monstrosity. Work on a new peasant request. So a lot of y'all have already submitted requests because you're legendary patrons. Thank you. So maybe I'll just jump over and look at someone else's request. Yes, hello, what's going on? Yeah, teeth are gonna teeth, that's for sure. Now we're just like, oh, you have too much sugar, you drink soda. There is not a single soda in this house. There is a lot of sweet tea, which may have something to do with it. I'm gonna bring up the... Oh, can you bring up what was one of your favorite models in 2025? We need a tab of recap. Honestly, it's probably that alicorn. I don't think that's gonna surprise y'all. This was such a big deal to me, and it wasn't even that hard for me to make, which is even better, and it's just gorgeous. Fun fact, the tail here, I ripped off of the Kirin. Yeah, so that's an old model. Let me show you guys a picture of that real quick. Kirin, I don't fucking know. The Japanese mythology thing here. See? It's the same tail. I was working on this tail and I was like, this is bullshit. So I ripped this one off and I modified it. So you can do that. Don't be afraid to do that. I'm thinking about other things from, oh, and the cherry blossom dragon. I think that was last year as well. And that one was so much work. Oh, good lord. I like pretty things, as you guys can tell. Here we go. This is the 3D printed picture of my cherry blossom dragon, and is that not just the prettiest thing you've ever seen? That was printed on a Saturn S 28mm scale. It's about this big. Do I have it in here? I do. Oh, I dropped something. That's okay. I didn't drop the print. Here it is. Check that out. That's why I had the picture on screen, because my camera is like focusing on my face. It's like, oh, put your hand behind it. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, I would say this. This was done completely from scratch. Like from a sphere. I don't know how I did that. And this is actually partly what Sean's reference for their character, which was kind of cool. So like, you reference my stuff. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Jesus Christ. Just throwing stuff. Oh, that hard surface armor strain. Yeah, that was pretty epic. I would do it so different already. Like the look is good, but the construction was a little more fragile than I think I would have liked. All right, you guys want me to work on the millipede monstrosity. Very good. That's what we'll do. I'm gonna end that poll. Boop. Meep, beep. Very good. Yeah, it's so good. Oh, thank you, Sean's. Corey's like, yeah, the stream changes every time I come back. That's fair. I do like this current setup. I don't think it's going to change for a long time. So, I mean, other than like decorations, I might move the chandelier or something, do a little bit of dusting, but that's about it. That's about it. I do get mean to some peasants back in the day. I have learned to kind of rein that in. I can like tease you guys and be silly, but I don't want to just be like actually a jerk. Oh my goodness. All right. let's work on this millipede. Aloha says, my most underrated improvement of the tab group is the graphic work for Patreon and showing off the models. Yeah, Ricky's killing it. He's doing a really good job. I'll make sure to let him know. He's probably watching. I don't know. Either way, I'll let him know. All right. Horribleness to work on now. Okay. So what I did here, my dog's in here, by the way, immediately interrupted. Let me grab this. Boop. He back. There he is. Hi, maybe. He's in there. No. All right. There's our weird marriage shrine, which looks all cluttered. Now has a candle, another weird thing. The room's really messy. Don't look at it. The rest of the house looks good, so. All right. We're moving on. Let me scoot this over. All right. Yes, Sean's. It's not, I mean, if you don't have a lot of experience 3D printing, actually, you know what? No, that one's actually not that bad to print. No, you're good. Never mind. Whatever I was gonna say, ignore. Hello, JW. Ooh, we live. Just finished watching a random YouTube video and auto skipped here. It's meant to be. Happy New Year. And Mikey's. Hello, hello. Yeah, I like how you just see a blanket. No, Maverick. Yeah, he's in there. Yeah. All right, time to work on this horrible thing. So the way they did all these limbs, it was just super quick and thrown on there. What I did is I selected just one, and then I made an insert mesh brush. So fancy. So they're on there kind of nice. I don't think I'm actually gonna change it a ton. What I am gonna do though is zoom this in. We'll have a nice little thing here for anyone who jumps into the stream. Happy New Year. Just so people know what we're all about right from the get-go. Yeah. And then let's go ahead and bump up our contrast a little bit. Phew. Wow, that was really sensitive, wasn't it? There we go. Before, after. Just a little bit of contrast. All right. Very good. So what I'm missing right now are those like plates. But again, I can texture this however I want. It's just disgusting. So we can have fun with it. I like the limbs. I think these are about fine. I am gonna use my contrast slider to maybe bulk them up a little bit more, which has become my favorite thing in ZBrush, truly. There we go. I grab Move Topological and Auto Groups. And oh, those are two separate pieces. Don't love that. Okay. We will just use the Move brush. And we'll kind of scoot these around here. I'm gonna make as many of these touch the base as possible. And we're not worried about any tiny details and how this fits together. We are just obsessed with silhouette and shapes. That's what it's all about, seriously. Just need him to start snoring. Oh, what's coming? Is there anything I should know before I try my first print? Yes, your first print will not be something cool. Just kidding. It can be. A lot of people have had their very first print ever with one of my models, which is so freaking cool. But you really shouldn't. You should really print like the test thing that comes with your printer, or cones of calibration. Again, that is cones of calibration, assuming you have a resin printer. If not, I'm a big fan of Calibration Cat for FDM. Yeah. I hear you, Shans. I'm a big fan of the bathroom floor. Speaking of, props to my community and Discord for not being annoying. That's a whole sentence in itself. You guys are so not annoying. Thank you. Partly because I won't tolerate it, but still. Yeah, you can have your 3D printer on the floor in your bathroom. It's fine. I did that for months. Not everyone has a dedicated hobby room. There's already a fan in a bathroom, or there should be. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's really fun. And if the smell is weird and giving you a headache, a lot of them have little carbon filters that you can install. Yeah. Yes, cones of calibration. And so you can tag Ricky if you want to get more information on this. Just put at Mr. M3DM in Discord and be like, hey, what? Calibration stuff. Because there's a file in there that it will essentially print 6 identical files on your plate, but it'll do each one at a slightly longer exposure time, all at once. It's really cool. So you can do like a bunch of testing all at once. So yeah. Did you ever make any more huge prints? You know, I didn't. I mean, I do. This is about as big as we go. Excuse me, as of right now. But I'm looking around because I forget sometimes. No, I don't think so. Good questions. Good questions. So I frequently switch the silhouette here by clicking V on my keyboard. V as in vector, or it's Victor, not vector. But anyway, you can change the color right here because all I'm doing is swapping my color here from white to whatever the secondary one is. So what I do is I go to black and I use that as a quick silhouette check. Sean says, wait, I missed stuff. Cones calibration and what else? It depends what printer you got, but for now, just stick for cones of calibration. That'll be your good first step. Yeah, poor Empress. Just making shit and hoping it'll print okay enough. Oh my god. Oh goodness. Carbon filters. Oh yeah. As you get more, comfortable sculpting, I actually really encourage you can do a decent amount of sculpting just like in this black view here. Something that would have helped me learn a lot faster is looking at the model as an entire piece as soon as possible, as opposed to like an individual claw or like shirt or whatever. Like, yeah, if you have great assets, you'll have a great model, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes it just looks really disjointed. Have y'all ever played those games on Steam that were obviously made just by buying a bunch of asset packs and jamming them all together? You don't want your art to look like that. Did you know that Expedition 33 used a ton of assets just pre-made from Unreal? But you wouldn't know because they actually it's art direction. Speaking of, I miss Sater. Damn, I miss Sater. Where is my art director? Oh well, he'll be back when he's back. All right, continuing. Right now I'm just kind of looking at the shape of this, and I'm also really avoiding making the plates because I don't really know how to sculpt those right now. And I think what I need to do is make one really good one and then make a brush out of it. And I don't want to do that, so I'm just messing around with the silhouette right now. Go back to this. I do think maybe that these need to be bigger. Yeah, see how that looks better? Yeah, more. And the fun thing when you're working with Silhouette 3D is that you rotate it and then there's another silhouette to deal with. I do think this looks a little weird, the side of it, but then it makes up for it again on the back. And it's like, yeah, all these need to be pre-supported. Just grab Move and Backface Mask and just bam, thicken those up. And then you don't have to worry about it. There you are. Yeah, Sater has not been having a good year. Man, there was a couple small comments that he made where I kind of pieced some stuff together and I was just like, shocked. Do you talk with Sater? Okay, I don't know if you are, but if you are, send my love. I have not sent him a DM. But it's not because I don't care. I should do that. Do you ever have a moment and you're like, shit, am I a bad friend? No, it's okay. Send my love. I can't send a single sentence message. Good Lord, Mia. All right, continuing with the shape. This looks busted from this side. I don't like that. Turn perspective on and off. I already put my little feet down though, so I don't. Here's another thing too. Just take your wins where you got them. You don't have to micromanage every aspect of your model. Like, it's okay. The front looks really good, yay. But I do think that I'm causing just problems back here for 3D printing. Ooh, I should put a giant rock right here. Like, it's like skittering over a boulder or something. Wouldn't that be cool? We'll do that. So for my rock, it is going to be a sphere. I actually use my trim dynamic brush here and just kind of slice some pieces off of here. There we are. Reaper says will do. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. You could even just send him a timestamp of me being awkward about being a bad friend. I think you'll get the point. Giant Dwayne The Rock Johnson. The Empress is like, I was just gonna ask, isn't there a solution to that? You were correct. Though I recall you offer a baseless version, so it doesn't help there. Sometimes for the baseless version, what I do is I still include the terrain that will make it print easier. Like, for example, I have a couple characters where their foot's up on a rock, and the whole point of a baseless version is so they can print it and then stick it on another base, right? And usually bases are flat. So I make sure I include whatever is flat with that model. Does that make sense? While still making it structurally sound. What I do though, for those that are a little more savvy, is I leave them as separate shells, so if people want to delete that object, it's very easy for them to do so. So yeah. And Corey mentions, yeah, I don't really care if they use pre-made assets or whatever. The game's really awesome. Oh, same. When they obviously don't blend styles together and they just kind of grab a little here and a little here and it's very obvious. For a while there, it's like every game came out looking like Stardew Valley, and I was like, because one person was selling an asset pack that pretty much ripped stuff from the game, and I was like, it's not good. That's not good. Right now I'm using that Orb Flatten Edge brush, which is free on ArtStation. Also, I bought a couple brushes from Flip Normals. They pretty much are just like clay tubes and clay buildup, but a little bit better, and they are delicious. They were on sale for $1. They might still be on sale for $1. I highly recommend. I really liked them. I'm gonna go ahead and work on the base for this thing right now too, because that's gonna be kind of part of the story. All right, I want base. I want a simple base. Ooh, too many bases. Did I just call it new base? New without a Q? Yep, a new base. Love how I label things. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yoop, yoop. And squish it a little. There we are. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this base. There we go. Scoot it up a little bit, make it a little bit smaller, and then Dynamesh this at a low resolution. And then I'll take this little block here, and that's what I'll use to texture like dirt and that kind of stuff. Something that I really like to use for easy detailing is the layer brush. I grab layer and then I change it from dots to drag rectangle, and just grab in alpha. Just anything, honestly. You'll want to turn on back face mask so it doesn't goof up the bottom of it. And we're gonna increase our focal shift. That way it's not all that like ugly square on there. That's because your focal shift is low, which sometimes you want that. I'm gonna increase the contrast because it does my job for me. And boy, does it do a good job. There we go. Now we got a base just like that. Bada bing. Doesn't that add so much already? And then we need to figure something out with the front of this model. So I'm using that Flip Normals brush right here. So nice, so delicious. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start playing with the interpolate function and getting some of that like bio-horror look here. Nah, I didn't love that. It needs to have more of like a plate look to it, and I need to not cheat. Ooh, this always works really well. Yeah, see, that's looking pretty cool. I need to be careful because Interpolate doesn't understand curves, so I'll need to break this down into straight lines. I'll go ahead and do this. Also, remember how I keep stuff in symmetry for as long as possible? I don't do that anymore, I'm just letting you guys know. I sculpt almost totally out of symmetry. I have to detail both seams in my pants, like everything like a peasant. I've gotten so fast it doesn't matter. And then because I'm inconsistent a little bit, it actually makes stuff look better because there's kind of like this organic like messiness to it. I don't know. Just do what you like to do. That's the biggest thing. Whatever art process makes you enjoy creating, just do that. It doesn't matter if it's efficient. I actually have, that's my New Year's resolution, is to be less efficient. Not less productive, but less efficient. And ironically, I think it's gonna make me more productive. If that didn't make any sense, I can explain more. But I think you guys might understand what I'm talking about. All right, so I think what we're gonna do is 3 different sections. We're gonna have this side armor right here. We're gonna have main plates on the back, and they're not gonna look like this. That looks dumb. We're gonna do like actual millipede plates on the back. I'm using a brush here to kind of blend this in. There we are, very nice. And then we're gonna have the center portion here, which is gonna be kind of like that skinny plates. My dog is snoring in full motion, so I'm sure Empress is happy. I think it was Empress that was saying it's time for the snoring. There we go. And I like the plates right here on the side because it's gonna give me a little bit more room to blend in all of these arms and stuff. Was the Flip Normal brush just called clay tubes? No, I mean, yeah, so it's soft, tubes, and build up, and it's FN. So yeah. Corey says, well, it's like for gaming. When you try to become so efficient and precise, it takes the fun out of it actually playing the game sometimes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on that. I'm like, Corey describes that, and I'm like, I'm in that picture and I don't like it. Wow, that's a little symphony happening back there. Okay. You know, it's funny, Ricky was like, do you want Maverick in here? And I said no. I am like such a cranky goat on and off stream. You guys need to know that. Like, it's not an act. Anyway, I was like, no, he's like, I don't want him in here. And he's like, he's just gonna fall asleep. I'm like, yeah, he's stinky. And I mean this. And I'm like, he's stinky and noisy. And they're like, but the peasants love that he's noisy. And I'm like, nah, whatever. And so he lays down the blanket, and immediately the dog just ties in his little knot down. It was like 10 seconds. And I'm like, well, I guess he's here. Yeah, my dog is in a deep, deep sleep. Yeah, he's out. He's so out. He's got the blanket wrapped so tight around his little face. I don't know how he breathes. I really don't. Can you guys see like how tight that is? Like, okay, that's his head. That's his butt. This is hard for me to point because my camera is flipped, so my left and rights are different. And you guys know I'm not good at my left and rights anyway. All right, we're good. Moving on. I can't believe that it's New Year's and all these people are hanging out in the chat, and I know every single one of your guys' names. I recognize everybody. I mean, if you're a lurker and I don't know that you exist, but you've been around, hello to you too. But my point is that it's just, we got such a cool little community here. Man, what a good way to start the year. Very happy. So there was kind of like a period in the year where like the streams grew a lot and that kind of stuff. We had some people from Pixelogic that would stop, or Pixelogic, Maxon that would stop in. It was crazy. And like the views went up a little bit. For the most part, it was kind of the same. And I wasn't sure if like I was supposed to like keep growing or like make sure that I stream every day or like whatever. And it was so funny because I was like, I felt awkward about not trying to push the streams to grow. And I'm so glad that I was like, whatever. At the time, I was like, I don't have time to give a fuck about that. And looking back, I was like, I'm just glad I didn't even bother because I don't really care. I just enjoy doing the streams for what they are. I love that we have about 10 people. It's fantastic. Seriously. And you guys all chat and hang out. I don't know. My point is that this is what I want. And if you don't define like what you want with your goals, whether it's streaming, social media, business, even just small stuff with your hobbies, your brain will just be like, more. Because that's a very like American culture too, of just like more money, more friends, more projects, more hobbies, more house, more land, more job, whatever. It's always more. And I'm like, I don't think I want more. I think I just want to hang out. It's made me so much happier. Oh my goodness. Can't stress that enough. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be afraid to want less. It might just be the best thing. I'm trying to figure out how to do these panels, and I'm realizing I can probably use the interpolate function for this too. Okay, I'm looking at a reference. So I'm gonna do one line carved. I'm gonna be a little wobbly with it, and then interpolate. Nothing happened. Why is nothing happening? We'll do one, we'll do two, interpolate. Ah, there we go. You start getting like kind of like H.R. Geiger look. Okay, I don't want that many lines, and I do want to do a better job. So let's dig in even deeper. There we go. Ooh, maybe that's too much. Back off of that a little bit. We're gonna do a plate here. And you know what? I'm not gonna worry about how it lines up with the arms because I'm just not gonna worry about it. And then I don't want to interpolate 10 times. Let's do 6. That's a little too much still. Let's do 4. That's better. And now I'm gonna try to build up. So I'm holding down Alt. I'm gonna round off, yeah, we'll see if I can round off the plates on the side at all. I don't think I gave myself enough room for that. There we go. There we go. That was pretty quick. I do think it's still tight. It's too tight still, but these look good for only 3 button clicks. And there's Matt again. My first stream here. I joined because my friend watched the Corgi, one of the Corgi servers. Oh, how funny, no kidding. Did you find the file? You can buy it individually on my mini factory for like, I don't know, I think it's $2 or something. But for $7, you get everything on Patreon, or mostly everything. 15 is the everything. Anyway, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm just advertising. I just want to make sure you get the little friend. Anyway. There's Ron Swanson's mustache. How about a lurker? You know that exists. Of course I know you exist. You objectively have the best username of anyone here. Sorry, guys. Not that's a competition, but Ron Swanson's mustache is going to have to win. I quite literally imagine you as just a floating mustache that's like flapping. Like quite, yeah, it's glorious. Yes, we do love our lurkers. We do. Matt says, oh yeah, I definitely went the Patreon route. Oh, thank you. So you're also a new supporter. Well, awesome. I don't know if you picked Legendary tier, but if you did, you should put it in a request because that's what this is. That's a big part of what I do. It will take me 6 months to get to it because I work oldest to newest. Occasionally I'll pick some out of order to do these like big projects, but yeah. I just extended the request board too. So it's January, but you can still submit one for December. So you can technically get like 2 for the price of 1. But anyway, welcome here. We're gonna do a better job with these plates, and we are going to make them a little more spaced out. So all I'm gonna do is just come down to the straightest section that I can, then interpolate, there we go, and now build up this edge. Oh, and Matt, I don't know what you 3D print with, but if you 3D print with a resin printer, you have got to get a flexible build plate. It is the best thing. That's why my pre-supported files print flat like a heathen, because I can just print everything flat, and then you just take this magnetic build plate off and just bend it and everything falls off. It is my favorite thing. There's like a name brand one, I think it's from Wham Bam, for like $40, which is outrageous. But you can get like a knockoff for like $10. That's what I do. I got a pack of 2 for like $10. Is the best thing I've ever done. Yeah, Sean's is like flexible build plate. Yeah, dude, it is the best thing. So again, it depends on what printer you have. Sometimes you'll have to find like a little spacer or something. I think I have flexible build plate M3DM. I made a post about it on Patreon. I'm 99% sure. Oh, Ricky made TikToks about it. Neato. Neat. Trying to find it. I Googled it. Okay, it brought up a post from my manufacturer from 2023. I don't know how outdated this is, but I'm gonna put a link to my manufacturer from, apparently I did this post in 2023. I have no memory of this. Anyway, maybe Ricky did it. I don't know. Anyway, point being, it's really cool. If you have an FDM printer, you still can print my stuff. I used to be really shy about saying that because I wasn't certain, because FDM is harder for minis, but I have printed so many of my minis on FDM at this point. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. There, that's looking pretty good. And then we can kind of add some cracks to all of this. Oh, that looks fabulous. Gross. Matt, I love that you're new here and you're like, oh, I came for the Corky Cerberus and I'm making this today. Yeah, we got a range of stuff here. Sometimes we're cute, sometimes we're not cute. Oh, only FDM. Okay, in that case, you should look at the mimics that I have too, because I have FDM files for the mimics, specifically for bamboo. But whatever you got. Oh, you have a bamboo A1. Fantastic. Bamboo printers are the best. I'm not sponsored. I wish I was, but they're fantastic. Good purchase. Yeah, it is kind of intimidating. Resin's just kind of messier. I like FDM too because the prints come out a little sturdier in my opinion. So, yeah. But yeah, my mimics will print really well with FDM and just do tree supports. And then my baby beasts, like the Corgi, they will do really well too because they're chunky and big. So yeah. Matt says, well, yeah, I need to look through the vault still. Oh, thank you for the mimic suggestion. My friend's wanting one too. What a coincidence. Perfect. All right, what direction or what is happening? We are coming this way. I don't know what's going on. This way. There we go. So we'll do a line here, interpolate. Yeah, it's a little crooked, but that's okay. And then what, the ridge of the plate is on the bottom. Okay. So it's gonna be here. I'm getting all turned around. I think that's right. There we go. And again, interpolate doesn't understand curves, so don't be afraid to just kind of do it yourself as well. I'm mostly just using the interpolate function because it's fun. Oops, that was not far enough apart. Yeah, that doesn't look great. We're gonna just do it by hand. If you have a good technique for what you are sculpting, it should not be that tedious. Just putting that out there. Or it shouldn't be that finicky. Nothing looks better than just spending the time and getting all those details in. Flip Normals has a really good video about that actually, where it's like, how do you get a model that looks like this? And they show like this really epic like dragon or something. And they were like, you do it by hand. There's no magic alpha, there's no magic anything. You gotta do it by hand. But that being said, it shouldn't fight you. There we go, that's looking good. Gross. Oh my god. Gnarly. I'm worried about these ones right here. They are a little too small for my liking. So I'm just gonna mask that section, or I might even just delete that section. There we go. Gorgeous. And we're just gonna increase the size of these. Awesome. There we go. Get that silhouette looking real nice. JW, he's beautiful, isn't he? Foxy says, Mia, have you ever played Dragon Age, or have I ever played Dragon Age Origins? That is my favorite game series of all time. I have played Dragon Age Origins to death. You can't, this is a joke, but yes, I have played it a lot, and I really like it. A lot. My go-to party was pretty much always Alistair, Morgan, and in the last slot I would kind of like swap. Sometimes I'd have Zevran. I had the DLC, so I would have Shale occasionally. I didn't like Shale. Shale wasn't very nice. I liked Win. The third slot's up for negotiation. Negotiation. Yes, that's the right word. And sometimes I'd have the Mabari Warhound, which I would always name Noodle. Yeah. The game is so good. Hi, Paint. Hello, hello. Hi, I missed the announcement. The announcement is Happy New Year. Something tells me she likes Dragon Age. I literally have, is it still here? Yeah, I have the collector's edition box for Veilguard just sitting on the floor right here. I used to have it as part of my desk, but then Ricky got me like shelves. Look, guys, I actually have like shelves now. Not just like a little heathen just stacking everything. Oh, more Veilguard stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Was Veilguard a hot mess? Yeah, absolutely. And did I still like it? Yes. I also like Dragon Age 2, which everybody hated that game too. Oh my god. I don't know what it is, where it's like a new game comes out and everybody loses their mind. And then you give it about 3 years and it's like, actually that game wasn't that bad. The new one's the worst one. It's super annoying. So do yourself a favor. If you like a game, don't read about it on Reddit. Foxy says, as part of the inspiration for this monstrosity was the Queen from the Dwarf Fortress DLC. I actually didn't play that. How did I not play that? The what DLC? I got the one where you go back and like you can go grab like King Kalen and bring him down from being crucified and all that kind of stuff. The Dwarf Fortress, what the heck? Oh, is that the one that's like just combat based? Maybe that's why I didn't do it. So when I was playing Dragon Age Origins, I was playing on the Xbox 360, and I was very much so in high school, and very much I didn't have any money. So I didn't just like, you know, buy any like DLC. My dad got me the game, I was super excited, and I think I was too shy and awkward to ask for him to buy the DLC for me. Which he would have, I don't know. I was like one of those weird like reverse spoiled kids where it's like, this is very unrelatable. I'm sorry if this is really tone deaf. But I was an only child, so I know if I asked for something, I would get it. So I'd never ask for anything. I don't know why. Whatever, I know that's like super... Poor me. Alright, Dwarf Fortress DLC, Dragon Age Origins. I know they don't have like an edition of the game that just comes with everything. Oh, the Stone Prisoner, no, that's with Shale. A Tale of Orzammar. Oh, is it only on PC, it looks like? No, just announced on PC Gamer. Oh, it looks like it has to do with... Oh, it's mad they have an ad blocker. Everybody has an ad blocker. Show me the thing. Don't be mad. Stop it. Okay. It is an unvoiced storyline that serves as a prologue to the dwarf noble origin. Ah. Yeah. That's the only background I've never played as a dwarf. I've done the human. I've done the elf. I'm just not a dwarf. I'm just not a dwarf, guys. JW says, I really enjoyed Dragon Age 2 at the time. Good. I did too. Paint says, student question, can you show me what you would call stylized? We talked about a little bit, but I would like an example. You're in luck because I have a perfect example for you, courtesy of Reaper. It's like it was meant to be. Yeah, what you gave me, Paint, was not stylized. It was very much so kind of semi-realistic. So here's a good example. Oh, this is like the original old file. What in the world? Where does this even come from? What? Where is it? Do I not have it saved on here already? Uno momento. I'm gonna find it. Here it is. Anyway, on the left is like semi-realistic. On the right here is stylized. Stylized is a kind of a dumb word because it reminds me of saying like, okay, tangent. When I was in high school, I had teachers that were dumb. We all did. And one of the critiques that I got on an essay was use more diction, which is fucking retarded. Let me give you the exact definition. But diction is just words, guys. Define diction. Not dictionary. Come on. There we go. Diction. The choice and use of words and phrases in speech or writing. The style of enunciation in speaking or singing. So again, it's just a style. It just means style. So when we say stylized, like stylized in what way? Stylized could look like a South Park cartoon. It could look like Studio Ghibli. Those are both stylized. So what does that mean? Generally speaking, people talk about stylized in 3D. It is this more animated cartoon, simplified is kind of a better way of explaining it. But don't make no mistake that simplified does not mean easier. You must know what you can reduce, what you can simplify. So see, like right here, she has individual strands of hair versus here, it's much chunkier. It's stylized, it's simplified. It's reducing things down to as few planes as possible with only necessary details. Like notice how her belt here is just this little orb in a flat plane. There's no trim, there's no stitches, there's no leather texture. There you go. That's a good example. Exactly. Broodmother. Yeah, Broodmother is horrifying. That is the worst thing ever. That's maybe what I thought you meant. That whole section of Dragon Age Origins, it was just awesome. You're very welcome. I'm glad that made more sense. Also, Paint, I love that you ask good questions. I love that you're to the point. I love that you put in so much hard work, and that I hope that that message you read from me most recently about like, oh, can you critique on this? And I'm like, no, you do it. And I'm glad, I think you know what I meant by that. You know what I mean? Speaking of, I thought your head actually looked pretty good. I'm really proud of you. It was looking really good. But that wasn't the critique you needed in that moment. It was user reference. Stop doing that. Proud of you, though. Hey, man, I also don't love dwarves that much. And Mikey's mentions I was the same growing up. Okay, cool. I'm glad somebody related to that. I know having no siblings is weird in itself. I love that. But you are right, Foxy. There is also like a golem of something DLC that's just combat like raid, just going in the deep roads. So there is something you referenced that is a thing that I didn't play, so I wasn't sure. All right, and we continue. Alrighty, we need to work on the back panels here, and this is what I'm kind of avoiding. Oh, Paint said 100%. I like being straightforward because I had bad teachers growing up, lol. You are a good teacher. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. I'm glad. So to summarize, since now I know Paint's stance on it for sure, Paint sent me some screenshots of a head that he worked on from scratch, and it actually looks quite good. And he said, hey, can you give me some critique? I didn't use any references. This is kind of what I got so far. Let me know I can improve. And I just kind of was like, I'm not going to give you critique. Use references. That's dumb. Don't do that. That's pretty much the tone. But I was more constructive than that, barely. And I read that and I was like, I have had a couple students that have taken things sideways and been like, yeah, you hurt my feelings. And I'm like, well, this is how I teach. Go find someone else. People that it works, it works. People that doesn't, it doesn't. And that's totally okay. All right, and we continue. So the best way to handle these scales on the back, it would be to make like an alpha and then extrude them. And I really just don't want to. I really want to see if there's a way I can get away with this. I don't think there is, because what it's gonna have to be is whenever you're dealing with like a significant volume change, there's no cheating. You have to actually make a plane shift. I know, crazy. So I'm gonna just go to this little isolated spot over here. I'm gonna inflate this, and then I'm gonna grab my orbs crack brush and kind of build up the edge here. Yeah, see how good that looks? And there actually is a plane shift, and that's what I need all the way down. I really don't want to do that 50 times. It's not that bad. Okay. Let's see if Mia remembers how to do a custom VDM brush. JW says, yeah, my environment art mentor was like that, direct. It's nice because art isn't always direct, but like it can be. It really can be. There you go. It's what I needed to hear, as I did not know what I did not know. Exactly. You gotta develop your artist eyes. And that's what I was telling Paint, where I'm like, if you are drawing or sculpting from your memory, you are for sure only going to be able to sculpt or draw what you see, because it's from your memory, not what is. And the difference between what you see and what actually is, that is art. And that's what's so difficult in bridging that gap. And it's like, I had a student once, I was like, well, I don't want to sculpt realistic. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. You must be able to see what truly is before you stylize something. Something about that felt really profound and deep. I mean it very literal. Like, you need to be able to know what a cube is before you make like a special cube. I don't know. That was a terrible example. You got to know the rules before you break them. I knew there was a cliche in there somewhere that can summarize what I was trying to say. Okay, VDM brush. So, I'm pretty sure you take something like this. I always mask the edges so they don't get all dumb. And then I'm gonna subdivide this a bunch of times. That's good. That's good. And I'm gonna keep the edges masked. And now I'm gonna sculpt this like plate. Millipede plate goodness. All right, I'm gonna use, I was gonna use a masking brush for it, but I already have a mask on here, so I guess I'm not gonna do that. I'll just kind of create this plane here. The most important part is that there is a convincing plane shift. That's also what makes you good at drawing stuff in 2D with a pencil. I'm terrible at that. I really wishy-washy when it comes to plane changes, because I'm just not sure about it. Because if you're drawing, it's all about just like faking what it looks like, because there's not actually a plane change because it's 2D. You know, it's a perspective thing. 3D is a lot easier for me because I literally can change the volume and it just connects a lot better for me. Alrighty. I want to have a kind of a cool edge on the side here. I'm really kind of just doing this a little messy. Gotta make it exist first. There we go. Got a little something going. I'm gonna come back with this soft brush and kind of smooth out these forms a little bit. Exactly, Shans. Exactly. I see that you were playing is Spirit City Lo-Fi. Is that on right now? That game should not be open right now. But yes, that is what I have. When I'm not streaming, I exclusively have that game open. It is the best. It is such a good vibe. I'm gonna come through and kind of flatten some edges because this is like that chitin material or whatever, like what's on crabs. That's probably good enough for testing to see if this worked at all. Though it would be nice. Do I need to curve this? Maybe. Let me add a small curve to this. That's not small. That looks ridiculous. I'm gonna keep it. I'm really gonna make this edge nice and exaggerated. If I decide I don't like how it looks, I'll just come back and I'll do it again. Simple as that. And last but not least, I'm gonna add some like little marks and a little bit of nonsense. You always want some surface noise. Unless it's stylized. Anytime I say always or never, it's never true. That reminds me of that, like, you can only tell truths, only tell lies or whatever. That was a riddle for sure. Okay. All right, that's a thing. Now, do I remember how to do this? So you have to have the chisel brush selected, which is weird. And then I think it's create multi-alpha. But the big thing that they do in tutorials and they don't tell you, you have to have the chisel brush selected. If the chisel brush is not selected, this does not work. That's so important. Not chisel 3D, not chisel creature, chisel. Okay. And yeah, it will replace the entire chisel brush with your new one, which is weird. I don't know. I didn't make the program. Okay. You draw a thing on a plane, single-sided. Make sure the edges are nice and flat. Select chisel. B for brush palette. Create multi-alpha brush. I hope that worked. I don't know why I said that so confidently. I don't even know if this works. All right, moment of truth. Because I just said that in tutorial format. I don't even know if it works. I've done it before. I just don't. I don't remember anything. Not a problem. Not diagnosed. Just dumb. Okay. Oh nope. Okay, so the chisel brush by default. I have a hard time saying that. It has like lazy mouse on and nonsense. You need to hold spacebar, change it from freehand to drag rectangle, and it's inverted. Okay. Hold down Option. Hey, and it worked. Looks really, really crazy. That's okay. I'm gonna reduce the focal shift and reduce the Z intensity. There you go, check that out. It looks like a thing. We still have those lines on the edges there because of the focal shift. That is the fall off of the brush. And I can increase the intensity. Eventually I'll kind of get something I like. All right, so now I have something that's gonna kind of do what I want. I'm saying that kind of confused because it is being a little odd. It looks good from like certain angles and then it looks really dumb from other angles. I'm just gonna do a bunch of them and kind of just look at it for a second. Yeah, that little ridge I did in the center, I don't like that. So guess what? All you do is go back to your original thing here and edit it. Because you're not gonna know exactly how it's gonna work the first time. Unless you're my husband and you do everything right the first time. This man, I swear, is so good at just intuitively doing things correct the first time. Which is funny because it's either like a complete success or a complete failure. Again, him playing Stardew Valley was like traumatic. I was like, have you never picked up a controller in your life? Anyway, it's gonna be awkward if he's watching this. No, it's not. I was roasting him the whole time. He knows. Okay, we're going back to the chisel brush. Let me see if it'll overwrite it. I've never done that before. I'm gonna do create multi-alpha again, and we'll see if it did the thing. It did. Neat. Look how different that behaves now. Increase the focal shift. It is being a little funny. I don't know why it's inverted. I really don't like that. Okay, it's Z sub, that's why. So if I go to Z add. I don't know why they say Z to be adorable. It just means add or subtract material. There you go. Now it does what I want it to. It is kind of like collapsing in on itself. I don't know what that's about. See this like crazy edge we got going here? Look at all this time I'm spending to prevent sculpting it by hand. Yeah, that looks crazy. I'm having fun with it though. I always like trying out new techniques on stream. I should look at the chat. I am live streaming. What are we talking about? Perfect is the enemy of getting things done. Then I am an ally of perfect. I'm never wrong. I'm either right or lying. Beautiful. Beautiful. Stardew Valley. I don't know how to talk. Beautiful. All right, and we continue. So I don't like that the edges are so blurry, and that's partly because of the fall off. So let me see if I can bring that back a little bit. That looks so not like what this actually is. You guys notice that? I don't like that. Let's do reset all brushes. And then we'll just redo the chisel brush thing from the start. Because I'm realizing it actually looks kind of shit. We'll try it again. There we go. That's the thing. Lower the intensity. There we go. All right, next thing we're gonna do is kind of prep the surface. So I'm gonna use my trim dynamic brush, and I'm gonna kind of like sculpt a flat plane on this. Kind of like as a guideline for this brush to go on top of. There we go. I love how I made like this ugly little rock and I was like, all right, you're good enough. We get the idea. Let's do a better job, shall we? I'm gonna rotate this, diagonal, do a little stretchy stretch, trim the bottom, duplicate. You know, rocks are really funny because if you add too many different plane changes, you end up with like a lumpy meatball. So when in doubt, just make fewer planes. There we go. And then there's no surface noise on this either, so they look a little too perfectly smooth. Don't worry about that. You can deal with that later. And remember, if the big flat section, that's kind of like, it's kind of your secondary form, but we'll say it's our primary. I would say the secondary is when you start adding like cracks like this. And then your tertiary is going to be like the actual rough, porous texture. And you want to make sure you're doing those in order. Don't jump around. Don't do like take a sphere, texture it with super high rock porous texture, and then try to make a rock out of that. You should never do that. I'm just being cheeky because I think it's very funny to use always and nevers because they're never true. Or not always true. That's what I meant. I'm so glad that I'm still streaming. You know? Because nothing's forever. Not to be weird, but I mean, there will be a last stream one day. But it's not going to be this year, so that's cool. Would it be a Taverb stream without a little sprinkle of existential dread at some point? Now that we got that out of the way. All right, we have a nice little prepared surface. This is looking better. Very pleased. Ron says, Ron Swanson's mustache. Mia, do you use a keyboard for your hotkeys? You're so fast with them. Yeah, I do. So I got my one hand here. Oh, look, it's my logo sticker. Yeah, so you can actually tell because it's all greasy where I put my fingers consistently. So yeah, I do this, spacebar, command, option, and shift. And then control Z. Oh, and shift. And P and Q and W. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of hotkeys. Anyway, where's my camera? Here we go. Sorry, it's flipped, so y'all know I have a hard time with it. But yes. And then obviously my other hand is here, because I'm right-handed, even though the camera says otherwise, and that's where I draw. People that got like little remotes or buttons on their tablets, it's not enough. I use the following keys, like all the time. Q, W, spacebar, Command, Option, Control, Shift. Yeah, like non-negotiable must have all 7. So yeah. Fox said, it's not a tavern stream without some Aloha chaos. Yeah, they're awfully behaved. Where is Aloha? I don't have the Discord up, so... Is that just like on fire right now? Is Spirit City a game? Yeah, it is. It's not a place in a game. It is the game. If you go to Steam and type in Spirit City Lo-Fi, you'll laugh. I don't have it open right now. I don't know why it's saying it is open. Hello, Aloha. You're very welcome, Ron. I'm back, guys. What did I miss? Me remembering how to do a VDM brush correctly the first time. Pretty cool. The gremlin has been spawned. Yes. Or summoned. I saw you misspelled summoned so bad, I just autocorrected it to spawn and I was still wrong. Beautiful. Alright, and yeah, that's laying a lot better than it was before. Alright, let's start piecing this together, making sure our settings are where we want them. Do I have to have a positive focal shift? Ugh, I don't usually like doing that. For no real reason. Alright. Ooh, back face mask is making this really ugly. Are you ripping through the model? Okay, I trust you. Trust you to be good. Alright, this is where you can't be crazy about being too picky. You gotta just like do the thing. It will look better than not having anything at all. How do you bend this? Okay. Maybe I should have just done it straight and then used my move brush. This is way faster than sculpting all these panels by hand. Even with all of the talking. Wow, and it's not ripping through the mesh. Good. Very good. I do wish the edges were more defined, but the most important part of this model is the head. The rest of this is fine. All right, and then let's crank up the contrast. Yeah. I like the contrast because it also kind of adds some surface noise to it. See how it gets kind of messy? All it's doing is taking the highest points and making them a little higher, and the lowest points and making them a little lower. Contrast. Oh, Aloha's reformed now. Well, yeah, okay. Reaper, wonder how long that's gonna last. My thoughts exactly. Well, so far it's almost been one full day of being reformed. It's true. Aloha and I had a talk about their behavior in 2025. I gave them a very poor performance review. It's true. Sean says, God, I love the sound of Maverick snoring in the background. Sounds like purring, except not cat. That's really sweet. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. And Paint made a list of notes for me to look at when I want. Can be shown on stream if you want. I'd be open to that. You guys want to see me roast Paint? Just kidding. It would be constructive. Maverick. And I'm gonna use these to kind of... I think I might like how that looks. We'll see. Oh, I do like how... Oh, and that fixes the problem of the edges of those panels looking not great. They still don't have the amount of like crispness that I want on the edges, but you know what? I'm gonna have to just note that for a future thing and be like, that's okay. This is still cool. I did a new technique. Yeah. I'll write that in my book. For the love of art. Did a good, where is it? Did a good job doing something. Where is it? I don't know where a pen is, and I don't want to write in a pencil with this. I don't want to write in this with a pencil. Why can't I talk? Okay. It's not a big deal. We can use a pencil. You ever say something out loud and realize it sounds terribly neurotic? And I'm like, okay, all right. VDM brush from scratch. Yeah, I'm proud of that. Very good. Hey Maniac, welcome in. All right, this is looking really good. What an improvement since the beginning of the stream. Proud of that. Alrighty, I'm gonna bring up Paint's critique, self-critique, and we'll see how they did. Yes. All right, so this is what Paint sent me. They said, was working on a face with no reference, any critiques? Here is said face. 1, 2, 3. And I said, this is my main critique. No reference. Don't do that. Always use a reference. At best, you're pleasantly surprised by results. At worst, you're just cementing bad habits. Since you are creating from the mind, you're inherently creating what you see, not what is. It's fine to play, of course, but you must check over your work with a reference. Then you get to play the spot the difference game. My homework for you is to grab some male head reference photos and study your piece. Note at least 3 differences, proportions, placement, etc. All right, Paint did a self-reflection, and let me do a screenshot of the face so you guys can see the self-reflection notes with the piece up. Otherwise, this isn't very helpful. There we go. All right, Paint has noted for himself, top lip needs to be more subtle. That's a spectacular misspelling of subtle, but I know what you mean. Yes. Also, strange choice to make it its own subtool. I don't recommend that. Chin, too sharp for a gaunty look. No, the chin's fine. You're missing a plane shift. It's not so much that's too sharp. It's that this section right here, you have as one continuous flowing piece. Look at my mouth right here. I actually have a really pronounced chin, so this works out. So you have the nasal labial folds right here, and then they kind of like move down. There's think like a ventriloquist Muppet mouth. There's a plane shift here. It's not just smooth. You got like this jowl piece, and that's especially more prominent on like a male face. Okay. Eyelids are too pronounced and need to be smaller. The whole eye is kind of a hot mess because of the way it was constructed. This doesn't seem to be a sphere. It might be. It's just too big. So one of the big things I see when people, what they miss, you don't really have eyelids right now. What you instead did was you used them to create this volume right here, which you actually did a really good job with that. And then the top, I would recommend reforming into this, the outside of your orbital socket. So this bone right here. On mine, it's really pronounced. Like you can really tell, like this like fleshy piece. Don't forget about that. And you kind of already had the beginnings of that. So really, you don't have eyelids. That's the issue here. So this top portion here, you'll see is this piece, but it's not this piece. You don't have this at all. Eyebrows are too thick and need to be on the ridge of the eye and not on the eyelids. Yeah, they're fine. Eyebrows are funny. Eyebrows can go wherever the fuck you want. I have like had rules of where eyebrows should go, and then walking around the grocery store, I have found 20 people who break all of those rules. Body hair and facial hair, up for grabs. Weird. Ears need to be a little lower. They're elf ears. They're about correct. Your eye and the top of your ear are on the same line. But if they're an elf, once you get to the pointy part, it goes wherever the fuck you want. Cheeks are not defined and need more muscle around the nose. No, muscle, no, this is just cartilage. This is just cartilage blob. And then, honestly, it's not so much that your cheekbones aren't defined. You just have one continuous plane. So I also really struggle when it comes to planes of the face. You have a triangle here. See that? There's like a triangle right here under your eye. And then there's pretty much a flat-ish plane here, like a little trapezoid or something. For now, just keep that nice and simple. There actually is a slight volume to it, like a convex. But anyway, that's a whole tricky area. Nose divot, more defined. Your nose is actually pretty good. Lips more angled, more pointed. The big thing is from the side view, your top lip should overhang your bottom. Am I profile enough? Okay, I kind of have it underbite. Bad example. It's like this. Try to suck that in. The top lip points out. Every face is different though, as you can tell. Eyes are too large, yes. There's no divot at the top of the nose. Yes, also correct. Good one, good one. There should be a nice big divot right here. Yes. Need to define the collarbone. I'm not even looking down there. That's a whole other can of worms. Bald does not look good. Yeah, your English is terrible. I love it. English is Paint's first language for anyone that's wondering. I'm not making fun of someone that's like bilingual. This is his first language. I'm gonna roast him. Okay. Also, there's plenty of handsome bald men. Oh, you are a bald guy. There you go. Now, bald looks great. Bald is beautiful. All right. I think that was productive and helpful for everyone. The big takeaways is the lips, sculpt them into the mouth. And don't forget that they curve. You're doing this thing. You have the corners pulled forward. Don't do that. See? They snap back. They are curved. There's like a cylinder here. This is the lower part of your jaw. So the top volume of your head is a sphere. You got this like cylinder that comes straight down off of it. It's very tricky. But yes, those are the big things. Hey, it's Sailor. Happy New Year. Any questions? No questions. You don't get to ask questions. Just work more. Don't work on this face anymore. Throw it away or keep it. That's fine. Just do it again. And that's how you'll learn more. But I'm very proud of you for it actually looks like a freaking head. Like that's fantastic. Seriously. My God, you've come so far. Here's a little jump scare for Taylor. Isn't he a cutie? Exactly. Aloha put this well. Mia's going through all of it in detail, but the bits and pieces are mostly in place. Just need to lay them over the planes. Exactly. And if you never looked at it before, since you didn't use a reference, planes of the head. This is what I'm talking about, and I really should have brought this up while I was giving the critique. Whatever, I'm also improving as a teacher. So here's what I was talking about earlier. This one's fine. I like that one a little better. Anyway, so this is what I was talking about right here, that triangle area under your eye. And then this is pretty much a flat piece. It's not though, that's like the kicker. But anyway, for now, just think of this as a flat piece. This chin piece, they kind of just have as one section. I do kind of like this better. But this is what I meant, like there's a flat portion here, and then think of like kind of like two lines, but except that's not really what's happening is they extrude outwards. There's like these little like trapezoid pieces here that will connect. It's this that I'm talking about. This divot is really extreme, but whatever, good enough. It's really hard to find a good planes of the head. I find that they tend to like mix levels. Like I feel like the nose is way too detailed here and other things are oversimplified, but whatever. Still really cool. It's hard to go wrong. Look at planes of the head. Good stuff. Good stuff. Exactly. Taylor said, wow, this is detailed. Is this Centipede Man yours or your student's work? It's mine. This horrible, horrible thing is mine. I'm getting better. I'm also using tools that are in ZBrush finally a little bit more. A lot of this I was using the interpolate function, and I made my own custom VDM. Neato. Though I would like to show you a little bit of that, because you mentioned like, wow, it's really detailed, and it is, but sometimes the detail is what gets more credit than it should. I mean, I know you know that, but I do want to show you guys like how I did this right here, because it's really simple actually. So oh, is this already decimated? Yeah, it's okay. It'll get the point across. So all I did was I took a standard brush and I carved out a line. Let me get this all set up for y'all. There we go. Carved out a line here, carved out a line here, and then clicked like interpolate. Make sure that it's an appropriate number. There you go. See? Isn't that cool? Did you see that? I can do it again. Interpolate is located in the stroke menu. I know you're gonna ask. So go to stroke, interpolate right here, and then you can adjust how many strokes, so how many times it repeats in between those two. Crazy powerful, really, really cool. Yeah. You learn something new. Aloha says, also guys, for 2026, we will be having a new segment of stream where Mia will cut over to me like a weatherman. We will be doing fast-paced, unhinged models whilst Mia grabs a drink. Expect cake. That's not happening. But Aloha does have stuff planned for y'all. We do have some collaborations coming up. Yeah, Aloha, that scares me, but I would like to see it. Oh, my dog has moved around. He unearthed and we missed it. Sorry. And again, a little before and after. I just did a little line up here, a little line down here. Interpolate. It's magic. It doesn't have to be removing volume. You can also add volume to achieve that. So yes. See, this is what happens when you join the stream. You make a specific comment. You're going to get a mini tutorial. That's just how I work. Where's his tongue? There it is. All right, I'm starting to get tired, so I'm gonna be wrapping up the stream soon, and then we'll do another stream at some point. I'm planning on 2 a week this year, at least. Oh, I totally see that, Empress. Absolutely. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Yeah, no 24-hour stream. Sorry. Can you interpolate ornamental trimming around the base? No, it doesn't do well with curves. For that, I would just use radial symmetry. It'd be much faster. It'd be better just to make like a one ornament, make it a VDM brush or insert mesh, probably insert mesh, and then radial symmetry on that. Good question. Excuse me, good question. Well, it's kind of fun having a normal stream. No Tavern Chronicle, no not working on a character for the Tavern today. This is not allowed in the Tavern. This is not part of Tavern lore. I just got a very unhinged picture from my dad and stepmom. Amazing. Happy New Year. They're cute. I don't know why I feel the need to say stepmom. It's probably because she's Filipino and we're very, very obviously not related. Like, I don't know why I specify though. Probably because I was like a whole ass adult when they got married. I don't know. I just feel the need to say, like, I don't say stepmom to put distance. She's really awesome. I love Lisa. Okay. Anyway. Unhinged picture from the parent, share. No. Yeah, random fun stream. Y'all can thank Reaper for this. I was not going to stream. I had zero plans to stream, but I thought it was so cute that she was just like, Happy New Year stream? And I was like, oh, that's really, okay. All right, I'm tired. It's time to go eat again. Oh, I made deviled eggs for the first time, like a day ago. way harder than I would have expected. I don't know why. It's like everything that could go wrong did. The first egg I tried to peel, I went and rolled it on the cutting board and I pressed a little too hard and just like, bam, exploded. I'm not kidding. I was like, okay. Yes, thank you to Reaper. It's been wonderful having Reaper and Aloha here. I'm sure we will see Seder a few times this year, and he'll be very, very welcome. I was honestly surprised you agreed. It's New Year, new me, new gracious me. Don't push it. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. I will be seeing you guys in the future. It's just gonna be a bitchin' year. If you are interested in learning how to sculpt, I'm interested in teaching you. I'm a really good teacher for most people. What a vague statement. Anyway, there's links in the description. If you just want 3D printable models, that's on Patreon. My Patreon for 3D printable models is a ridiculous deal. There are new models every single Monday. They're all requests. It's just a good freaking time. It is my full-time job. It's the coolest. So yeah, if you want to be part of the best peasants in the damn land, do that. All right, I will see you guys in a few days. Yeah. All right, take care. Bye.